Boa tarde, pessoal! Estamos aqui ao vivo com mais um Hangout para vocês. Meu nome é Glossmara, estou falando aqui da Embaixada Britânica em Brasília, e hoje a gente tem um bate-papo super especial com diversos convidados. A gente vai conectar Brasília, São Paulo e um grupo de pesquisadores da Universidade de Nottingham, lá na Inglaterra. A gente vai apresentar cada um deles daqui a pouquinho, vou passar a palavra para eles, mas só para quem está chegando aqui agora ou não acompanha a nossa divulgação nas redes sociais, esse Hangout, ele está aqui para a gente discutir oportunidades de parceria e de pesquisa na área de Química, um campo bem específico, mas que tem muita coisa que pode contribuir para a sociedade, entre o Brasil e o Reino Unido, mas especialmente na Universidade de Nottingham. Vocês vão entender por que a gente vai falar especificamente da Universidade de Nottingham ao longo desse bate-papo. Como os pesquisadores, eles são britânicos, a gente vai, muita parte dessa conversa vai ser realizada em inglês, mas você pode entrar em contato com a gente pelas nossas redes sociais, mandando perguntas pelo Twitter, ou então nos comentários do Facebook. A gente acabou de colocar o link para você assistir, ou para você compartilhar com seus colegas lá. Qualquer dúvida, entre em contato, ou então aqui mesmo pela janela do YouTube, fique à vontade. E sempre que possível, vou tentar fazer algum comentário em português também, para ficar mais fácil para todo mundo entender, porque a gente sabe que a compreensão da informação é algo muito importante quando a gente está discutindo parceria e oportunidades, correto? Eu queria passar a palavra rapidinho para a minha colega Daniela, que está falando, que vai falar com a gente de São Paulo. Daniela, quem é você, para quem não te conhece?
Prazer, todo mundo. Meu nome é Daniela e eu trabalho no Consulado Britânico como consultora na área de educação. A minha principal função no consulado é a rede SWB Alumni Network, que busca promover o networking e a troca de experiências focados no desenvolvimento profissional. Essa rede ela é feita especialmente para aquelas pessoas que foram para o Ciências Sem Fronteiras, para o UK e retornaram para o Brasil. Pessoas tanto de graduação quanto de pós-graduação, e o principal objetivo é reforçar esse link entre Brasil e UK. A ideia é que os ex-alunos possam compartilhar seus conhecimentos e orientar outras pessoas interessadas em seguir caminhos semelhantes, contribuindo para mudanças e novas perspectivas no mercado de trabalho. Nosso principal meio é online, nós temos um grupo no Facebook com mais de 2.000 alunos e o blog Embaixadores da Rainha. E a Network ela é patrocinada pela Universidade de Nottingham, e como fruto dessa parceria, nós estamos hoje aqui realizando esse webinar. E o nosso principal objetivo é promover a área de Química de Nottingham e também conversar um pouquinho sobre possíveis parcerias, o que pode ser feito aqui no Brasil quanto à colaboração. Vou falar rapidamente um pouquinho, algumas curiosidades sobre Nottingham. Nottingham tem tido um bom relacionamento com o Brasil por décadas. Os professores e alunos são muito importantes para a estratégia de internacionalização da universidade, mas os relacionamentos que vão sendo criados durante essas parcerias. Nos últimos anos, também, Nottingham colaborou com pesquisas em 64 institutos de pesquisas pelo Brasil, e produzindo mais de 250 pesquisas também. Então, isso é legal para explicar um pouquinho sobre a universidade e ter uma ideia maior sobre o contexto.
Isso mesmo, eu ia também trazer esse ponto do número de instituições brasileiras que já realizou trabalhos de pesquisa com a Universidade de Nottingham. Muito obrigada pela contribuição. Eu vou passar a palavra agora para a nossa primeira convidada britânica, que é a Dr. June McCombie, acho que eu falei o nome dela certo. Ela é Senior Researcher Officer na Universidade de Nottingham, e ela trabalha com pesquisa na área de educação química, química astrofísica, espectroscopia molecular. Ai, gente, coisa muito difícil, sou de humanas. Dr. June, welcome. Good afternoon for you in the UK, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we had...
Thank you very much for Okay,
yeah,
so my job is...
Yeah, we just had Daniela here talking a little bit about the University of Nottingham and explain a little bit of the links to Brazil. And I would like for you to give us another explanation about the university and how do you work.
Okay, so my job is just to introduce really and tell you a little bit about the university here. So the university was established in 1881, first of all, as a civic college in the centre of Nottingham, and then moved to the University Park, where we're based now, in 1928, and it became the University of Nottingham in 1948. And since then, we've established campuses in Malaysia and China, and we have 2 other campuses in Nottingham. At the moment, in Nottingham, we have around 34,000 students at the moment, across all of our undergraduate and postgraduates. And part of the reason for us being involved in this webinar is that the university is very proud of this approach to interdisciplinary research. So that's one of the reasons we have put this webinar together. My job is really to tell you a little bit more maybe about the teaching, etc., that we have here, both at undergraduate and at postgraduate level. So if you could bring up just slide 1 for us.
Yeah. Okay. Just a second,
so
guys. We are going to share some presentation with you, okay? And just a second. Anyone? So people now they are seeing the presentation.
Thank you. So that link will take you to the website for our department. And if you look down at the next slide, you'll see some information about our undergraduate degrees, our core undergraduate degrees, which have a range of options. So we have the core chemistry, and then we also have other degree options. Core chemistry, so it could be a 3-year or 4-year course, chemistry with international study year, chemistry research year. And I know that my colleague Jed will talk later about some things we have specific degrees.
Oh, I think we are missing a little bit of your audio, Professor Dr. June. Could you try to speak again? Yeah, now it's better.
Okay, if I come a little bit closer. Okay,
yes,
so that slide tells you about our core chemistry degrees. We have both 3- and 4-year courses, and I know my colleague later will talk to you about the links we have with Brazilian universities around our undergraduate degree courses. And then the next slide down, if you bring up the next slide, that slide will tell you about some of our degree courses that span a little bit wider area. So we link at one end with medicinal and biological chemistry, and at the other end with physics. And so we have degree courses in all these areas that are run from the School of Chemistry. I think one of the most exciting things that we've invested in recently has been our new teaching partners, which you can see in the next slide down.
Okay.
And yeah, so the next slide down, and you can see the teaching laboratories there. And we've invested quite a lot of money in these, but they're fantastic environment for our undergraduate students to work in. And the link at the bottom is to the periodic videos, and there's a very good YouTube video there that does a sort of virtual tour of our teaching laboratories, but also gives you a way into the periodic videos that a lot of our staff later put together, which are great outreach for teaching. So that's on the teaching side. And then we also have carbon neutral laboratory on the next slide down. There we go. Which is a research centre in the area sustainable chemistry, and a lot of my colleagues are going to be involved in the webinar discussion actually cited there, working with that. And again, there's a link so that you can see a virtual tour of that inside. But it is really a remarkable approach.
Yeah, Dr. June, let me just interrupt you, because I just want to say that for people that are watching right now, we can share the presentation with you later, and then you can get us easy access to all the links, and then we'll make it easy because we're passing really fast here. Just for people to let know that we are going to share, and then we're going to add the link of the presentation in our YouTube video. Okay?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. So very briefly, I'm just going to talk to you about the postgraduate courses in Oxford. If we look at the next slide, highlights our postgraduate taught modules, which are in the, I'll just bring that up, the MSc in taught, MSc in Green and Sustainable Chemistry, which obviously links also to become useful and commercial. And then there's some details about that on the next slide. I won't dwell on that too well. But then finally, my bit, there's a slide talking about our postgraduate research modules. And these are both masters and postgraduate. And if you go on to the next one, yeah. So these are 3- and 4-year research programs. And as you'll find out in the discussion, these are usually joining internationally leading research groups. They're a very large graduate school, a good chemical society, a very good atmosphere amongst the students. And it's also possible to do a 1-year master's by research here. If you're joining an international research group, that you have an academic research. And the contacts are interesting. So the email contacts are available. So that's my very brief introduction to chemistry.
Yeah, it is. It's a very. So can you come closer a little bit? The audio is still sometimes. Can you come closer a little bit more? Sorry.
Hi.
Yeah, now so we are listening to you again. Yeah, no, so you mentioned, so it was just a brief presentation, because it is a very rich field, right? And it is, so you have lots of kind of research areas in chemistry, right?
Research areas, and some of them will be talked about in this webinar, but there's also there's roughly 40 research groups working within the School of Chemistry. So anybody who's interested should go onto our web pages and look at the area of chemistry that they're interested in. My colleagues will give you a fantastic idea of a very important area to us, but it is only one area. Okay, so I'm going to hand over to Jetta, who's going to...
Yeah, so hello, how are you? I'll just introduce you briefly to our viewers, because Professor Jairton Dupont, he is Brazilian, so he might say a few words in Portuguese, and he will. So we are going to go a bit deeper in the chemistry area of University of Nottingham, and Professor Jairton is going to explain for us so how this education field can contribute to Brazilian institutions. So welcome, Professor Jairton.
Okay, thank you. Well. I will first talk about the undergrad programs that we can have between Nottingham and the University of Nottingham. It's quite special in the UK that you can do with Brazil, and we are establishing. Then later, my colleagues will present all the research related masters and PhDs and postdoc positions and possibilities with Nottingham. So this a very nice possibility to do a dual degree between Nottingham and the Brazilian universities that are interested at this moment to finish the memorandum of understanding with 2 universities that involves that we go +2 or 2 + 3 or 3 + 2. Sorry, what it means that. A Brazilian student with his degree in chemistry can do his first 2 or 3 years in Brazil, then come to Nottingham and do 2+ years, and then you get both degrees. Nottingham University and the Brazilian University. In these cases, the advantage for the Brazilians is that at the end they will get the equivalent of the mestrado, master's degree. He does 3 + 2, 3 years in Brazil +2 years in Nottingham. So this is a very, very nice opportunity to established collaborations, institutional collaborations.
Yeah.
With chemistry. There is, on the one hand, Nottingham has in his undergrad program that we call year. So the students at the third year in Nottingham, they can choose some university to spend a year, third year of their undergrad.
I think we lost you.
Some the modules in English, there is a possibility that undergrads from Nottingham goes to Brazil to spend a year. So this is the two major projects that we can do in terms of undergrad. And one of the great advantage of Nottingham is that it's the most international British university. So it's a quite plural and diverse atmosphere around here. And of course, it's all based on the leading teaching and research in chemistry, as we will see very soon, with my colleagues, the research and the possibilities with masters. That also, I was speaking on Portuguese, because you understand me, doutorado sanduíche. It's a lot of Brazilians around here, not only in chemistry, we are well related with the other areas, as you saw a few minutes ago, bio, or physical, or material science, during. So there is a plenty of opportunities in terms of undergrad and post-graduation with Brazil.
And could you tell us what are the chemistry fields that that Brazil could benefit from this? So a possible partnership with Nottingham University, or what is the focus of the new partnerships?
Well, this new partnership, in fact, we have selected very broad areas. One is people itself, natural products. Brazil is the largest ecosystem that is available as natural products is people itself. And the other two, they are quite broad areas that is related to fuels and energy. So that you can face the major problems not only of Brazil and UK, but in terms of, especially in terms of energy and sustainability.
Okay, so just to catch up, so the focus of the focus areas would be chemistry of natural products, materials, and energy and sustainability. Wow, this is really nice. And you live now in the UK, right, Professor?
Yes.
Okay.
In the UK, yeah.
Okay, and the students, they might even have classes with you, right?
Yeah, there is a lot of Brazilians.
Okay, that's nice. So now I would like to invite Professor Neil Oldham to join us and to talk a little bit of one of the areas that we want to explain in this Hangout. So it will be. So he's going to talk a little bit about chemistry of natural products. Welcome, Professor Neil. I'll just make a brief introduction in Portuguese so people know who are you. And I think you might even know a little bit of Portuguese because I know that you spend a time in Maceió, right?
That's right, but I don't really know much Portuguese.
Ok, no, it's not a problem. So, para você que está acompanhando a gente aqui agora, nós vamos falar com o professor Neil Oldham. Ele tem uma área bem específica, ele trabalha com espectrometria de massa de pequenas moléculas para proteínas. Nesse trabalho que eu comentei que ele fez em Maceió, eles estudaram proteínas na recepção de um feromônio de insetos pragas e tinha um benefício muito grande para a agricultura. Então, a gente vê uma aplicação prática dessa área dele. Então, Passando a palavra para o professor Neil. So now it's up to you, professor. So what is this? What is the importance of this field? So worldwide in Brazil. So why people should study chemistry of natural products?
Well, most of our drugs come from natural products. They're a sustainable source of chemicals. And there are new ones being discovered all the time, different biological activities. So if I could ask you if you can bring up the slides so I can just point out a few of them.
Yes.
It's number 10.
Number 10, okay. I will share now with our audience. Just a second. There you go. We have it.
Okay, great. So Nottingham has a long tradition of research in natural products chemistry, going from isolation and identification of new natural products, plants, microorganisms, marine environments, through synthesis of those compounds, and also studying how they're biosynthesized in the producing organisms. So there's a long tradition going back over 50 years of that kind of research in the School of Chemistry. So we have a lot of expertise, great facilities for doing that kind of thing. What I've shown on this slide, on the left-hand side, are some of the chemical compounds that currently targets of synthesis here in the School of Chemistry. So you can see a range of highly complex structures, very potent anti-cancer and antimicrobial activity. And then on the right-hand side, we've got some of the interesting biosynthesis, which my own group is involved in. We use protein mass spectrometry to actually study the enzyme involved in biosynthesizing some of these natural products. And we can see the intermediates in biosynthesis associated with these enzymes. And then on to the next slide.
Okay, moving on.
So, what I thought I'd also show is a slide highlighting some of the research we're currently doing in collaboration with Brazil in Maceió, and that is using a combination of mass spectrometry and chemical biology techniques to try and control a new pest insect that's made in Brazil. A huge agricultural pest worldwide, responsible for the destruction of billions of dollars of agricultural crops. And we're using sustainable methods to try and control that by studying the pheromone communication. But you can see it in the top left-hand side there, that's Mariana Breda, who's visiting postdoc from Bhutan to Nottingham, and she's holding there a fruit which is infested with this Hangout pest. And she's out in the field there, and we've been doing some field trials of using pheromones to control the insect from our understanding of how the actual pheromone reception works at a molecular level. And that's just one example of the kind of thing we're interested in collaborating currently.
Okay, and could you tell us a little bit more, or maybe you give us a few more examples of Nottingham's main research and achievements in this area?
Okay, so going back classically, then a lot of the active compounds from plants like cannabis were identified here in Nottingham. Many biologically active compounds from marine, sponges and other marine species have been identified and synthesized here in Nottingham. And so currently we're undertaking research to look at how some of these compounds are made in nature, so that we can mimic that and use that as a
Andrei. So now I would like to invite Professor Andrei Kostov. I hope I have said the name correctly. He's going to talk about another area. So he's going to talk a little bit for us about chemistry of materials. I will just briefly introduce you in Portuguese for our viewers, okay? And then I'll come back to you. So, Professor Andrei, how do I say your name? Kostov?
Lobostov, yeah, that's
Ele é diretor de Nanoscale and Microscale Research. Ele é presidente do Centro para Ciências Analíticas Interdisciplinares da Universidade de Nottingham. E, né, de acordo com a primeira área que a gente falou ali, da onde ele é diretor, ele é professor de nanomateriais, assim, que é uma área realmente do futuro, que a gente vê que pode contribuir no desenvolvimento de materiais resistentes, ou de chegar onde a gente ainda nunca chegou, porque os nanomateriais são menores do que qualquer outra coisa. So, Professor Andrei, what is the importance of this field? I tried to talk a little bit of this here in Portuguese, but I'm sure you can say a lot more than I.
Okay, thank you very much for your introduction. So, chemistry is absolutely essential for discovery and design of new materials. Why we need new materials is because they're very important. And the type of materials we're talking about, everything from construction materials to materials for electronic devices to healthcare materials. So it affects all aspects of our life. It affects huge areas of economy. And chemistry is a central science in materials development. So if you could put my first slide on the screen.
Sorry, the next slide, sorry. I was just monitoring here. Let me just share it here with everybody. Yeah. Just a sec.
So on this slide, you have some examples from our interdisciplinary research in chemistry of materials. So obviously, at the core of materials chemistry, we have principle of control, manipulation of individual single molecules. That could be on surfaces, it could be in the gas phase, it could be in crystal. This is have cutting-edge technologies such as new varieties of atomic force microscopy, something we developed in physics and astronomy. We have innovative electron microscopy techniques and self-assembly approaches. So they're all essentially fundamental steps that are required for understanding chemistry of the molecules before we start making the actual material we can use for some sort of application. So on this slide, you see some results from on the bottom of the slide. This is STM images showing molecules in the surface. We can control the positions of these molecules, orientations, play with them, and push them around. So this is all good fun, but obviously we can also introduce functional property, which then introduces some practical applications. So on top of the slide, you can see so-called metal organic framework. It's a very famous compounds that are used for storage of gas, for example. But in Nottingham, we introduced photoactive function metal organic framework, so we can control the shape and therefore the interaction with gas molecules. Equally, we can also construct molecular wires, carry electric current, and respond to light. So if you could put the second slide on the screen for me, please.
Yep. Oh, this one? Oh, this one, sorry.
Yeah, thank you very much. So this is something, this is the applied side of materials chemistry. So we start obviously with fundamental chemistry research, but then we move on to the applied projects. And here you see examples of porous nanocarbons that are produced in the Department of Chemistry and have an amazing capacity to attract various gases, including carbon dioxide, for example, which is important to remove atmosphere. On the top right corner, you can see new types of polymers that developed also in our school. These are local polymers that have interesting nanostructured arrangement of molecules. And we developed application of these polymers in electronic and optical devices for antimicrobial applications. The bottom part of the slide, this is a bit like personal work. This is something that I'm interested in personally. My research provides work with carbon nanomaterials, carbon nanotubes, graphene, and fluids. So these are very new, interesting materials, and there's plenty of undiscovered properties But one of the applications that we developed in my group, we look at the carbon nanotubes as nanoreactors. So we trap molecules inside, control their chemical reactions, and produce products that are not possible to make by any other way. So in your introduction, I could understand you mentioned nanoscale, microscale research center, which is associated with chemistry. It's one of the biggest research centers of this nature. We have 15 electron microscopes, which are essential for this type of research. And we collaborate with all 5 faculties in the University of Nottingham.
Okay, and what are the main? So you talk a lot about of some areas, and what are like the main researches or achievements from Nottingham in this field?
Yeah, so from my personal perspective, perhaps the most interesting achievement that we have a record in the Guinness Book of World Records for the world's smallest test tube. So this test tube was created based on carbon nanotubes. So it has diameter which is 80,000 times thinner than human hair, and with a volume of only 5 zeptoliters, no, octoliters. Sorry. So it's a very small volume, and we can control chemical reactions there and produce products. So this is quite an interesting achievement. But we have other achievements as well. So metal organic frameworks, porous structures for gas storage and separation. This is something that is very famous for.
Okay, thank you very much. Very interesting area, and yeah, I think for our viewers that are from chemistry field, they are probably very excited. So I'm not. So, but I'm really thinking, oh my God, I would like to study more of this. So very nice. I'll pass now to my colleague Daniela. She will introduce our next guest. So Dani, up to you.
Sure, I will introduce our next guest in Portuguese quickly. Dr. Thais Tasso Guaraldo, right? Thais é PhD em Química pela Universidade de São Paulo. Atualmente ela é uma pesquisadora de pós-doutorado que trabalha com Química Analítica na Universidade de São Paulo, certo? Thais tem trabalhado no desenvolvimento de materiais nanoestruturados para o tratamento de esgoto e geração de hidrogênio durante seu doutorado. Ela também estabeleceu um projeto de colaboração com a Universidade de Durham. Em 2016, sua pesquisa no campo de líquidos iônicos foi financiada pela Universidade de Nottingham. Você poderia contar para a gente, Thais, um pouquinho sobre o seu trabalho?
Olá, Daniela, bom dia. Bem, como você disse, eu sou pós-doutora atualmente pela Universidade de São Paulo, e no ano passado desenvolvi meu projeto de pesquisa na Universidade de Nottingham, na Inglaterra, mas financiado aqui pelo Brasil. E foi uma experiência muito boa. Pude trabalhar com o professor Darren Walsh e o professor Jairton Dupont na linha de líquidos iônicos para termocélulas.
Uau! Essa é uma área bem específica. Você está aqui hoje, assim, a gente vai voltar a conversar com você um pouco mais tarde, para a gente falar realmente, focar mais nessa parceria com o Brasil. Você mencionou agora o Dr. Walsh. Eu vou trazer ele agora para a conversa. E o Dr. Walsh, ele vai apresentar a nossa próxima área, que é Chemistry of Energy. So actually, we're going to have 2 guests now presenting another field that is really interesting for Brazil and the UK, for Brazil and University of Nottingham, Dr. Walsh and Dr. Newton. Could you please say hi to our viewers and talk a bit more about chemistry of energy?
Okay, so I'll start. My name is Darren Walsh, and my group works on electrochemical energy storage. So this involves things like new batteries, new fuel cells, as Thais said, thermoelectrochemical cells, and supercapacitors and things like that. So if I could just have my first slide up, I put up a couple of examples of the things we do.
Yep. Just a moment, I'm going to share. And while I'm getting ready to share, I just need to mention, because we haven't mentioned this before, that Dr. Walsh, he's also a YouTuber, right? You have a channel.
Yeah, I'm doing a table of videos, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe later you can talk a bit more about this initiative, because I imagine that if you are doing like videos on YouTube, you are trying to explain this in a way that more people can understand about chemistry, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we have now the slide or not. Let me check. No, we don't have it. Now we have it. So.
Okay, so I've just put on here a couple of examples of overviews of the clue here at Nottingham. We have a lot of activity in using these new solvents called ionic liquids, and these are salts that are liquid near room temperature. So my group works a lot on these, and Professor DuPont's group has worked on these, and so what we're interested in at the minute is putting ionic liquids into things like batteries, to make them safer or to make them store more energy. Because one of the things we're really interested in is making lithium batteries better. Because if we're going to put lithium-ion batteries into cars, the range of the cars will not compete with the range of petrol cars. So we need better batteries if we're going to replace the entire vehicle fleet with electric vehicles. So we work on new catalysts for fuel cells and batteries. So you can see a fuel cell is a little bit like a battery. And on the slide here on the left, you can see some of the catalysts that we make. These are carbon catalysts that have lots of tiny little pieces of platinum catalysts on them. So we're trying to make platinum better, or we're trying to replace platinum with something that's less expensive. And Thijs is going to talk a little bit more about high surface area carbons in a minute. Professor Klobuchar has already talked about carbons. So there's a lot of work here on advanced carbons for new applications. So the other example I've put on is some of our work on high energy supercapacitors. So these are really exciting devices. A supercapacitor is a little bit like a battery, but the way it stores electricity is slightly different. It's a high power device. So a supercapacitor can deliver electricity very quickly, but it can't store a lot of electricity like a battery can. So what we're trying to do is to use new advanced carbons and ionic liquids to make supercapacitors that can store as much energy as batteries. Because if we can do that, then we can make really high power devices. Because again, one of the issues with batteries is that they're not very high power devices, so they're limited if it comes to acceleration of an electric vehicle, for example. So some of the things that I haven't put on here, Thijs has already mentioned that we use ionic liquids in thermoelectrochemical cells. So we're trying to develop electrochemical ways to capture waste heat, turn it into electricity. And we're also interested in using electricity to make chemicals. So there's a lot of work at Nottingham in trying to do clean chemistry. So moving away from nasty solvents and energy expensive methods. We're trying to see if we can use electrodes and batteries to find new ways to make chemicals. Okay, so that's it for me. So I think we're going to hear, I think, from Thijs, who'll tell us a little bit about the advanced carbon work.
Yeah, and I just want to add a comment that this area has a lot of potential, because it is something that is it's key for the future. So batteries and how we deal with energy, different sources, because you can produce energy with wind, with the sun, with the light, but if you don't have good batteries to get these and to have like the capacity, so we have a problem, right? It's something very important. So Thijs, it's up to you. So what can you tell about this experience for us?
So hi, as I've mentioned before, I've been to Nottingham University last year to develop a collaboration project with Professor Darren. But today I'm going to talk about my recent project here in Brazil. It's related to carbon nanomaterials, so a little bit closer to what Professor Andre mentioned. So what we do, we study carbon nanomaterials for detection of compounds. I mean, environmentally compounds that could be present in water as a contaminant or as a pollutant. So if you go to my presentation, so people could see, what nanocarbon I'm working with is carbon black. It's one kind of carbon nanomaterial, highly porous, and electrochemical sensor. So one of the most interesting features about this material, it's inexpensive and it's obtained from hydrocarbon. So we can make a good use of hydrocarbon in this form of carbon black material and immobilize it into a surface so we can monitor the detection of molecules in water. This material has applications as batteries, fuel cells, and sensors. So what I'm trying to do at the moment is monitor a pharmaceutical compound that can be found in wastewater. It's toxic, so it's very important to monitor as a human concern, and environmentally problems can come from this presence of these pollutants in water. So basically, just an overview of the motivation of my recent work is to study these kind of materials.
And Thais, so you keep studying this right now in Brazil?
Yes, that's what I'm studying right now in Brazil.
Okay, and you are still in touch with professors and researchers from Nottingham University?
Yes, sure. I'll always keep in touch with Professor Darren and Professor Jarton Dupont from my period in Nottingham, and I'm very glad for that.
Okay, so I would like to talk a little bit about the same field with Dr. Graham Newton. Now in Portuguese, just to introduce to our viewers. O Dr. Graham Newton, ele trabalha, o estudo de doutorado dele foi na área de síntese de compostos de coordenação polinucleares. Ele é professor, ele é pesquisador da Universidade de Nottingham há 2 anos, desde 2015, e ele é professor de Química de Materiais. Dr. Graham, I have a question. So I see here that you are a professor of chemistry of materials. And how does the chemistry of materials relate with chemistry of energy?
Well, there's a lot of ways actually. So I think what Darren and Thais just showed us was some of the materials that they're developing. For example, carbon black. That's really materials chemistry, and indeed what Professor Klobostov talked about a little earlier as well. A lot of that materials chemistry can be related directly into energy. Energy compounds is, we can capture or convert energy in a lot of different ways. We can store it in a lot of different ways. And any system that does that is typically will consist of more than one component. So you may need something that can, for example, capture light energy. And you may need some other part that will then convert that light energy into some different form, for example, will allow you to store electrons somewhere else. So often we need to think about our design of our materials, our systems. We need to think about it from a molecular perspective, designing molecules that do specific jobs. And we also need to think about the kind of the way that those molecules interact with each other or with other materials. So, there's a lot of ways. It's all relatively closely connected, and it's a case of focus and careful development of aspects of it.
Okay, and in your opinion, so what is the importance of this specific field for Brazil? Oh, and we know that it is important. We've mentioned so it is key for the future, but specifically for Brazil, why do you think so it is important? So where is the potential?
Energy is something that is hugely important for Brazil. It's hugely important for the whole world, to be honest. We're very reliant at the moment on, for example, fossil fuels to provide the energy for our cars and for most aspects of our daily life. Clearly, fossil fuels have a finite lifetime as a resource, and also there are associated issues. You know, the increasing levels of CO2 in the atmosphere and so on. Where this fits into an important area for Brazil, if we consider, current directions, for example, you can use photovoltaics and solar cells. The chemistry exists at the moment to do some great things in terms of energy conversion from the sun. But where we need to focus for Brazil and other places is we need to think about new ways of storing energy, distributing energy. We need to come up with new chemical answers to pretty big questions that ultimately, as we move more and more towards an economy that is driven on renewable energy sources, we need to think more and more about new technologies to deal with the changing environment.
Okay, and just as I'll bring Dr. Walsh back so that he will view. So we talk a lot about the field. We explain a little bit of the areas. And could you name a few research or achievements in the area that make like Nottingham like wow? People think so in this field.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that Nottingham has a lot of track record with is storing gases in solid materials. So, as a lot of people know, carbon dioxide is increasing in the atmosphere all the time, and we need to find ways to stop its concentration from going up. And we also, if we're going to use things like hydrogen fuel cells in cars, we need to find a way to store the hydrogen safely. So Nottingham has a lot of track record in developing solid materials for storing gases like hydrogen and carbon dioxide, which is obviously relevant to the energy, kind of solving the energy problem. So Nottingham has a really long track record in that. And from the electrochemical side of things, recently we built supercapacitors, which are really different batteries, really high power devices, but we've made supercapacitors that can store as much energy as a lead acid battery can, but we can recharge it in about a minute. So I think for these kinds of things, Nottingham is very well.
Okay, thank you very much. So it's very interesting. As I said, so I'm not from the area, but so it was when I was in the school. Chemistry was something that I really enjoyed because it is something that you can actually see working. So chemistry is everywhere. So we are chemistry as well, right? So and then when you see the practical part, so being something, so you make a research and turn into something useful. It's it's amazing, right? So yeah, thank you very much for all this information and for all the research that you were doing in it.
No problem.
I would like to bring back Professor Dupont, our Brazilian researcher at Nottingham University. I don't know if you want to talk, so you prefer to talk right now in Portuguese, or maybe it will be easier for our followers. I don't know. Would it be okay for us to speak in Portuguese?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, but yeah.
I don't know because not Brazilian, so it will be difficult.
Sorry? Yeah. Okay.
Entender porque eu não sou brasileiro, eu sou gaúcho.
Pois é, a gente até recebeu um comentário de um pesquisador do Rio Grande do Sul. Ele fez o comentário pelo YouTube. É o André Gottens. Ele é aluno de mestrado da Universidade Federal do Rio Grande do Sul. E ele quer entrar em contato com você, Thaís. Eu imagino que agora que a gente vai falar, que ele descobriu que o professor do Ponto também é gaúcho, ele provavelmente vai querer conversar com ele também. Então, vou esperar ele fazer mais uma pergunta aqui para a gente continuar esse diálogo. Professor, então, a gente falou aqui das áreas e tudo mais. Você falou um pouquinho também sobre Nottingham, que é uma cidade muito internacional, a universidade também é muito internacional, tem muitos estudantes de diversos países, mas assim, pensando agora nas instituições brasileiras, por que seria interessante fazer essa parceria mesmo com a Universidade de Nottingham?
Bom, em primeiro lugar, porque Nottingham é a universidade mais internacional que se tem na Grã-Bretanha. Ela tem campus na China, na Malásia, e tem relações com quase uma centena de países, tanto no nível de graduação quanto no nível de pós-graduação. Essa é uma das características de Nottingham, né? Em segundo lugar, Nottingham tem a oferecer, além de todo esse espectro de projetos de pesquisa, seja em nível de graduação, pós-graduação, etc. A Universidade de Nottingham ela tem um portfólio de projetos de prioridades. Acho que isso é algo muito importante nas universidades brasileiras. Of Excellence. O Nottingham tem um orçamento próprio justamente para investir nesses programas prioritários, tecnologia, etc. Além disso, o Nottingham tem um grande legado junto com o Brasil, tem outras possibilidades. Por exemplo, na área de drug discovery, a Universidade de Nottingham ela tem um laboratório que a gente pode chamar de um laboratório nacional, que pesquisadores do Brasil estão aqui, incluindo pesquisadores da Fiocruz, que desenvolvem, então, nessa área de química farmacêutica, projetos há muito tempo. Então, são laboratórios ligados à Fiocruz, são pesquisadores da Fiocruz que estão aqui, ou pesquisadores de Fiocruz. Além disso, além dessas possibilidades, da Universidade de Nottingham e da área de Midlands, que envolvem outras universidades, existem outras formas de financiamento possíveis. Claro, essas relações, elas, em geral, ações em nível de graduação, elas são mais ligadas institucionalmente, e isso leva um tempo de negociação relativamente grande para que isso possa ocorrer.
Uhum.
O que eu introduzi antes, os programas de 2 mais 2 ou 3 mais 2, nossa possibilidade, a possibilidade das universidades brasileiras de receberem durante um ano um aluno de graduação da Universidade de Nottingham, que é muito importante. A lei estabelece a questão das colaborações. E existem, enfim, agências e ações governamentais, tanto agora no Brasil um pouco mais difícil, né? Mas tanto do British Council, Newton Funding, a Royal Society of Chemistry, através delas, então, que se podem estabelecer, tanto a nível pessoal, de ações individuais, tanto pelos alunos interessados, pesquisadores interessados em fazer colaboração, ou em nível um pouco mais acima, em que envolveriam as instituições, laboratórios como o professor Neil colocou antes, que tem um projeto, então, que é um projeto individual dele, que é a Universidade de Alagoas, e a Universidade de Nottingham ela está presente em todos esses fóruns, né, que permitem, então, acessar diferentes níveis de financiamento bilateral. colocar mais uma vez que a Universidade de Nottingham, ela tem um orçamento próprio, ela investe nesse tipo de... Não é um orçamento pequeno, não, ele pode facilitar 500 milhões para 3 anos, coisas desse nível.
Ok. Então, só para recapitular aqui também, para quem pegou o Hangout agora e tudo mais, esse interesse da Universidade de Nottingham de fazer mais parcerias com o Brasil não é só mesmo no nível de instituição. Assim, se tiver um pesquisador nessa área de todas as químicas aqui que a gente falou, se ele tiver uma ideia interessante, está precisando de apoio para pesquisar, se ele entrar em contato com a Universidade de Nottingham, ele também tem chance de formalizar uma parceria, correto?
Ele pode entrar, facilmente a Universidade de Nottingham tem um International Office. Entrando em contato com eles, eles vão colocar as diferentes possibilidades que tanto em nível individual ou mais institucional, que se possa oferecer. A Universidade de Nottingham também tem uma série de bolsas para talentos, né? Está no centro de todo esse esforço que é feito em relação às pessoas e não em relação às instituições. E a gente está interessado, como o Brasil está interessado em talentos, né, que possam, então, realizar essas tarefas, o desafio que são colocados pelos Darren, né? São apenas uma pequena amostra da qualidade de Nottingham em relação à química.
Eu estou impressionada. E assim, você mencionou no início da sua fala, né, essa possibilidade de trabalho de pesquisas, né, 3+2, 2+2. Que outras formas, que outras modalidades de parceria seria possível fazer com a Universidade de Nottingham? Pode ser, sei lá, um treinamento, organizar seminário, workshop. Isso tudo está, tipo, incluso no pacote? É possível tentar parcerias também nesse âmbito, nesse contexto?
Claro. É possível, sim. Por exemplo, tem uma chamada aberta do Newton Funding agora, que é justamente para organizar essas pessoas que estão interessadas em realizar essas parcerias, né, se possa obter financiamento para que se realizem seminários, visitas, né? Além disso, existem todas as ações típicas das agências de fomento do Brasil e britânicas que permitem visitas curtas de 3 meses, doutorados sanduíches de 1 a 2 anos, doutorados completos, se as pessoas, as instituições interessadas entrarem no site International Office, nós temos esse acesso eletrônico também, só através dos meios colocados lá, dos links colocados lá, também.
Não, legal. Eu queria só trazer, então, a Thaís de volta. Eu queria saber, Thaís, como é que você chegou na Universidade de Nottingham? Porque eu acho que, assim, contar, assim, até um pouco, acho que da dúvida das pessoas que estão assistindo a gente, como é que você chegou na Universidade de Nottingham? Você já sabia, desde a época que você estudava na USP? Como é que foi esse seu contato? Foi mais nível pessoal, pesquisador, ou foi mesmo com instituição?
Olá, Glau. Bom, falando um pouquinho da minha experiência pessoal, no meu doutorado, eu estava querendo mudar um pouco de área e me interessei pelo trabalho desenvolvido na Universidade de Nottingham, extremamente promissor e que ia de encontro com aquilo que eu gostaria de me especializar durante o meu pós-doutorado. Então, entrei em contato com o professor Darren. Ele me aceitou, disse que estava seria possível fazer essa parceria, e aí eu expliquei que eu tinha algumas possibilidades de bolsas no Brasil, e ele me aceitando, eu poderia me aplicar, né, para esses pedidos de bolsa, e foi assim que aconteceu comigo. Então, foi uma experiência muito boa, muito proveitosa, aprendi demais.
E para a gente só saber, em termos práticos, assim, quando você fez o primeiro contato, demorou muito até você conseguir formalizar e falar, não, a gente vai fazer essa pesquisa juntas, eu vou para o Reino Unido. Quanto tempo demorou esse processo? Porque acho que as pessoas têm curiosidade para saber, a gente sabe que não é de uma hora para outra, mas às vezes tem todo um planejamento que pode levar até um ano, né? A gente sabe que conseguir carta de recomendação, ou então visto, organizar a vida toda em função disso. Como é que foi para você?
Olha, exatamente. Eu acho que a parte mais demorada de todo esse processo é justamente essa papelada, né? Você preencher toda a papelada de exigência do Brasil e também de exigência da universidade de lá. Então, eu posso dizer que foi relativamente rápido, porque entre entrar em contato com o professor Darren, né, e escrever o meu projeto e a aprovação, foi tudo em torno de uns 3 a 4 meses. Então, foi um tempo curto, relativamente curto, se a gente for comparar com a experiência de outras pessoas, né?
Sim, não mas acho que é legal as pessoas saberem que, assim, tem muita gente que tem a urgência, às vezes, de querer fazer as coisas, eu quero para ontem. A gente sabe que nem sempre acontece isso, precisa realmente de um planejamento, de todo um cuidado, para que também o resultado seja bom para todo mundo, né? Não seja uma experiência que acrescente ao pesquisador que está indo como convidado, no caso, vamos supor, a gente está falando aqui dos brasileiros, mas também para o lado britânico da coisa, né?
Sim, com certeza.
Eu queria, assim, a gente recebeu uma pergunta no nosso Facebook, que é do Bernardo Pontes Guimarães, que eu não sei se vai ser melhor, quem que vai poder me ajudar a responder, se vai ser a Thaís ou o professor do Polo, ou se vai ser alguns dos nossos convidados britânicos, que ele estava querendo saber dessas áreas, quais que são, talvez, as de maior interesse para o mercado de trabalho, ou se, no caso, como química é uma coisa que está assim, envolve tudo, e química está ao redor do nosso dia a dia, da nossa vida, se todas as áreas, elas têm oportunidades para os pesquisadores.
Bom, a área de materiais, I will just translate for you, then you can jump in questions on Facebook. Sorry, I forgot his name.
Bernardo.
Bernardo, what is the most between the 3 areas that which one is can get a job later as a researcher or going to the industry? Do you have any ideas? What I can say in Portuguese is I will go to Português now. Sempre quando essa é uma das perguntas que são sempre feitas desde os jovens quando vamos escolher tentar entrar na universidade, que tem uma certa vocação para a área das ciências mais duras, o que eu devo fazer? Não é porque eu sou químico, mas o químico, ele o graduado em química, ele pode atuar em diferentes áreas que necessitam da transformação da matéria. Isso é, ele pode trabalhar desde a área da bio até a área de eletrônica. Sempre eles vão precisar desses pesquisadores que saibam transformar a matéria. I'm just saying that if you go into the chemistry area, all the other areas will need us. They need to transform the matter something else, very useful or not, but they need the chemist to do that. Otherwise, it's almost impossible to get new materials, new devices, new products.
Ok. Agora eu vou fazer uma pergunta que pode ser para você, para a Dani, para a Thaís e também para os nossos convidados britânicos. Eu vou fazer ela em inglês para facilitar para todo mundo. Quer dizer, em português primeiro e depois em inglês para que quem quiser responder possa responder. O que as instituições brasileiras podem aprender, de modo geral, com as universidades britânicas? So, I would like to ask everyone that is in our virtual room what Brazilian institutions could learn from British universities. So, what is like the big thing? Who wants to start?
Well, first, always when they ask these questions, it's not difficult to answer because first we have to understand if you are looking for cooperation or collaboration, there is a very, very different aspect of that. Cooperation means that one part is high level and another one needs help. When we start collaboration, it's the opposite. Both parts are almost at the same level, they will collaborate and integrate and go ahead. Of course, both, my experience, both parts can learn a lot from each other. For example, considering how the British institutions work in terms of research and teaching. In teaching, UK has a lot to teach students, because in UK we stay lecturing 8-10 hours per week, like the field, but students stay 30-36 hours lecturing. So in UK it's more not only professor. So they have to learn, they have to in terms of, on the other hand, Brazil has something that is quite unique. The British can take advantage of that, is that Brazil has a very long tradition that we call scientific initiation, meaning that someone that just coming to university can go 20 hours per week along for research. This is in UK, it's almost impossible to do that. At 17, 18 years old, all your girls go to that. So that, both parts. In terms of research, what the British can, especially the university can teach here, they know how to get priorities. They are not the cows as the Brazilians. They want to do everything that is possible or not possible. There are priorities. As you mentioned earlier, the beacons of excellence of the University of Nottingham that gave you the north, and they can go and look at that, because we cannot investigate everything in this world. So there is priorities. So students can learn a lot with the British University, in particular with Nottingham.
That's good. Thais and Danny, so you have the experience of studying in the UK. So, and in your opinion, so you can say like very briefly. So, what do you think? So, that Brazilian institutions could learn from the British universities?
Is that this kind of
yeah. Thais, yeah, Thais.
I really think we do have a lot to learn from British. In terms of organization, on how university works. In Brazil, it is somehow different than how it works in England. I mean, in terms of how you use equipment and how you share things in lab for research. So if we have maybe here better organization of what we already have, we could progress a lot.
Ok. And you, Dani?
É engraçado porque no meu caso eu estudei nos Estados Unidos, então é um pouquinho diferente, mas assim, eu posso falar da visão de um estudante internacional, né? Eu acho que em geral isso é para qualquer campo e principalmente para química, que é algo muito importante e que pode realmente mudar a nossa vida de acordo com os developments que vão acontecendo, né? Eu acho que poder fazer parcerias e compartilhar o seu conhecimento com outros países é algo muito importante, porque pensando no aspecto mundial, de um poder ajudar o outro e trazer esses conhecimentos juntos, ainda mais em um lugar que tem uma infraestrutura diferente de onde você veio, conhecimentos diferentes, e o legal é poder aprender algo lá e trazer para cá e fazer vice-versa, né? Poder aprender algo aqui e também levar para Nottingham.
Ok, tá certo, então. Então, acho que a gente já deu o nosso tempo aqui. Vou só passar mais uns comentários que a gente recebeu aqui para o professor Jairton. o nosso participante do Rio Grande do Sul, o André Gottens, ele falou que ele assistiu o nosso Hangout tomando um belo mate. Não sei se você toma aí em Nottingham, professor do PON. E o Rodrigo Luiz Cunha, ele é da Universidade UFABC. Ele falou que foi muito bom te ver por esse Hangout, professor Jairton. Gostaria de saber se você tem, como você gostaria de concluir esse Hangout. A gente acho que falou de coisas muito bacanas, de tudo que a Universidade de Nottingham pode oferecer. Talvez só a parte a parte prática mesmo, assim, como é que a gente pode fazer para a gente encerrar. E nossos convidados britânicos também quiserem falar alguma coisa para os nossos telespectadores, eles também são bem-vindos, ok? So, just talking to our British guests. Okay, second, something happening here. Just a second. Okay, if you want to say something, so your final remarks, so if you want to try to convince Brazilian researchers that are watching us, so why should they come to Nottingham? So you feel free, okay? I'll pass the word to you guys. Jairton?
Okay, let me jump in and just say something. So, I think, Nottingham is a great place to live and work. It's completely different from Brazil. I think if you give you a completely different outlook on life. We've heard from all my colleagues here at a massive research portfolio in coming and we've got lots of other visitors from Brazil to Nottingham.
Okay, so you all enjoy working with Brazilians. So do you all have the experience of working with Brazilians?
Certainly, I do. Yes. Everybody's nodding. So yes, we do. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, everyone is more than welcome, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so anyone else would like to make a remark, or we just end our chat?
Okay, I think we're good.
Yeah. Okay, so I would like to thank you all again for taking time to do this, for presenting your areas and works and achievements. So it's really amazing. It is impressive. I do hope that we get more Brazilians coming to the UK, especially to Nottingham, to do more in chemistry. It's something that, as Professor Jairton mentioned, so if you don't have people that know how to deal with chemistry of materials or chemistry of energy or anything, so things that they simply just don't work. So I do hope that we will motivate more people to get in touch and to work with you guys, because you are just amazing. I would like to thank Thais for taking time to do this. We arranged this very short notice, and thank you very much again. And Dani, thank you again for kicking. So you made the first step for this to happen. And I just want to tell everyone that we are here for you. If you have any questions, so you can leave your comment on YouTube. You can write again on all social medias, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. We're going to share the presentation, and do not hesitate to get in touch with us, okay? So thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for you that watched us, so now it's lunchtime here in Brazil, so you're not having lunch, so you're just watching here with us. So thank you very much again, and I hope to see you all very soon, okay? Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.